Good morning, Buck fans. Welcome to the Bucs pregame show. It's your boy AJ Turn Up with the aftermath on 102.9 Game Broad Street South Radio. Let's break down the final game of the week against the Carolina Panthers and what needs to be done.
You see him there again.
Brady loading up, going deep. Evans is open. He's got it in for the touchdown.
I can always watch that. I watch those highlights every damn day. I can watch that all the time. That is exactly what we want to see happen today when it comes to Evans just beating down the Panthers. But the scenario should be switched. I don't want it. It shouldn't be 14-0 Carolina Panthers and then the Bucs go off. No. We need to switch it up this time, and hopefully Baker can go out there and continue to bake. But again, good morning, Buck fans. What's up? Welcome to the Bucs pregame show. It's your host, AJ Turnup, and thank you for everybody out there, for all the Bucs viewers and Buck fans out there, for sticking it out with us throughout this entire season. And of course, it's only fitting that it comes down to the most important game of the week, and that is the last week, because this is essentially a playoff game, Buck fans. Let's call it what it is. You win, you're in. If they lose, it's going to be a lot of questions that I don't think that the Buccaneers fans nor the organization want to answer. So the whole point of today is just to win. You have all your players. You have all your starters. So there is no excuse. But before we even get into that, I want us to really, for both sides, because we have Buck fans that are for Bowles, against Bowles, in the middle, that we feel that this team could have been better. This team should have been this and that, or we're right on schedule. So I want to lay it out, just lay it out on both sides so we can understand. And another reason why you should honestly always check out the aftermath on 102.9 Game Broad Street South Radio, because we're not just Buccaneer fans. My co-host, Coach Slick, aka the British guy who's always fly, who'll be on standby, which you also need to check him out. And again, he is looking to get an internship at the Buccaneers organization. So please check out my video on It's About Buck and Time called Give Coach Slick an Opportunity. It shows you his accolades, 2 minutes and 27 seconds of greatness. So please check that out. But I also want to show you, I want Buck fans to look at things in hindsight. I want you to know what a lot of the media and a lot of these experts were thinking of your Buccaneers and how they were going to finish. I want you to take a look at this. 4 games. And then I want you to look at the counterparts, the people within our division that they thought were going to win. They look, 7 games for the Panthers, 10 games for the Falcons and the Saints. So no matter what, the Bucs have exceeded expectations. Now, of course, those are for people who didn't know what the hell they were talking about. We know that, but this is why it's important. All Buck fans understand we have defied the odds of what they expected us to do. When Brady was gone, of course, we know this already. So I know I'm just reiterating, but I want to reiterate again. This is how low that they thought of your Buccaneers. They thought that the Bucs were going to be a wash. They thought that the damn Carolina Panthers were going to be better than us. They just thought the Bucs were just going to be dead last, all because the GOAT retired. Not really looking at the flaws. Now, us Buck fans, we understand this. And this is why we always say you should watch Slick, Coach Slick, AJ Turnup, the dude, Rick Hughes from Bucs Live. We know this game. We love the game of football, not just the game of not just the NFL Buccaneers, but I could have told you this, guys. We know this. Last year, the Bucs were not doing so well. You know why the Bucs were not doing so well? Because of the situation with Brady. Of course, that kind of issue are going to happen. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know why a lot of Buck fans expected that. And then we had a different coaching situation. We had a salary cap issue. So I want you all to think about all of that. And then, of course, the worst was Byron Leftwich. But now, because Brady was gone, the media shunned us. We were back to being the sorry Buccaneers again. We were back to being okay, these guys they're going to be lost, despite having players on the team that were Super Bowl champions, despite having the great elite Mike Evans, despite having an elite talent in Chris Godwin, despite having all of that, they wrote us off. I want you to look at that again. Honestly, I was just baffled by this crazy ass 4 games, and your Bucs have doubled it. So we defied all the odds. So at the end of the day, your Bucs shut those guys the hell up. We made them look silly. We made them look stupid. We made them change the narrative. Remember, it wasn't going to work with Baker Mayfield. Is Evans even going to get 1,000 yards? Rick and I told you guys why we liked having Baker on the team. He's a mobile quarterback. He has more of a gunslinger mentality, which benefits Evans, which if people learn their history, Evans had his best statistical years under Winston. You can say what you want about Winston, but he trusts in Evans a lot. And the way that he played, it benefited Evans. Evans is a go-getter type receiver. That is why when Evans was here, you got to just throw it up 50. That's one of the greatest 50-50 receivers of all time in Evans. So this is why Rick and I kept saying getting Baker Mayfield to this team was a very good thing. It's going to drive the offense. He's going to provide inspiration and emotion that's going to get this team built. And again, he's a dual threat. He's mobile, which Brady was not. We have to be honest. That doesn't take away from Brady's greatness. First of all, Brady was 45 years old, so he's not going to be moving like that. He was never the most athletic person. But with Baker, it helps the offense because it escapes us from being predictable. When you have a quarterback that all you got to do is blow up the line because he's not going anywhere, that makes the offense has to be perfect. We don't have the squad that we had on offense in 2020 and 2021. Yes, Evans and Godwin, but there was no AB, no Gronk, who could not only catch, but he was a great blocker as well. We didn't have that. We got young guys. The line was not where it was. We have to take all those things into consideration. And this is why Slick and I were saying that. And I said in the beginning of the year that the Bucs defense was going to have to save this offense. And the offense eventually, by week 10 or 11, that's when the offense had to click in order for this Bucs team to make some noise. And they start clicking after the Falcons game. The best games that the Bucs had all season was the Packers and Jaguars. They played to their potential because Canales and Bowles were finally doing things that we still want to see today, is believe in the players and believe in what they can do and play to their strengths and not just into your scheme. Today is a day that they have to get out of their egos. But again, I just want Buc fans to understand that we have defied a lot of odds this season. We've done a lot more than what people want to give us credit for. So I want Buc fans to realize your Buccaneers did a hell of a job this season. Could have been better, absolutely, but you can say that about a lot of people. And then look at this one. I know that's a little hard to see, but they had your Bucs. This one had the Bucs winning only 2 games. So disrespectful. And the best 5 games. So hear me out. We could have been so much worse. Now, and I said this before. I said when it came to the Panthers, I told people when they picked Bryce Young, do you think he's going to do something? Like, hell no. First of all, the Panthers don't have anybody to throw to him. And I just didn't believe in them. I keep telling people all the time, just because they look like they're going to do something and because of a hype pick doesn't mean it's going to work out. I honestly think this season, in this draft that we had, Bucks did a hell of a job with Canty, who is on the rise. Yaya, who is on the rise. Cody Mock, who is on the rise. Trey Palmer, who will be there. We did a good job. Slick and I had told Buck fans, and we had told if the Bucks can get at least 3 solid players in the first few rounds of the draft, that the Bucks would have a shot. Now look at it. Yaya, I think he still leads the rookies in sacks. Canty, he's on the rise. Palmer has potential. So the Bucks have done very, very well, despite all of the naysayers out there. And again, that's why I thank you all for paying attention to Slick and I, because we weren't just saying this because we were Buck fans. We were saying it because we know the game and we know the players' potentials. And if they do this, this is how things will work. Your Buccaneers are in position to be the NFC South Kings for the 3rd straight year. Very impressive, despite changing the quarterback, despite having a new offensive coordinator that he has never coached at that level. So I can't just say, oh man, this season sucked. No, Buck fans, this has been a pleasant, fun season. You have to admit it. We were having fun. Even certain times when we were losing certain games, we were having fun. When we lost to the big time teams in Detroit and Philly at the time, and the 49ers, no shame. The Bucks didn't get blown out. The Bucks weren't getting destroyed. The Bucks were doing their thing. Now we just got to put it all together today. Now, with Baker being hurt, it's still no excuse. The Bucks need to put this team away early. Now, I want to start on that. Let's go on to the offensive side. I know a lot of people would think because Baker Mayfield is hurt that we shouldn't pass. I disagree. I strongly disagree, Buck fans. The Bucks still need to pass the damn ball, and because that is what we thrive in. That is what the Bucks are good at, is the pass. So with that being said, people say, well, how would you start passing? You can do short to intermediate passes and then take a few deep shots. In the beginning of the game, if he's going to be in shotgun, that means Baker should already know his 2 primary targets to get the ball out quick so he does not have to worry about being hit. Now, if you're going to do that, I want to see shallow crossing routes and some mid-crossing routes. Let's get Palmer in there with his speed. I want them to throw more to Palmer when he is catching in stride so he can, because again, I don't see any linebackers on the Carolina defense today that are going to keep up. So get that going. If you're going to do and then with Rachaad White today, I want to see Rachaad White catching the ball in the backfield more than just it being handed off to him. He is a receiving type back. The Bucks, if they just get the pass going early, that's another thing. You score early on the drive. You score on the first drive. That already, if the Bucks get the ball in offense, the first possession, that's going to put immediate pressure on this Panthers team. Bryce Young is not doing so well. So before I get there, offensively, the Bucks should rely on the pass. You don't need to make this is not a good team. You don't need to have plays, Canales, that takes 3 to 5 seconds to develop. The first few plays, you want to get them in a rhythm. You want to get this Bucks offense. I think Baker and the entire Bucks offense excels so much better when you do numerous plays to get this offense in a rhythm, because now it gives Baker time to assess the defense. I'm not saying that Baker is not intelligent, but I don't think he assesses, and hardly any quarterbacks can do that. He doesn't assess immediately to the level of a Brady, of a Peyton Manning, and those are generational quarterbacks. So I don't expect that. That's not to say that Baker's not an intelligent individual. He is, but I do think when he gets in the rhythm, he can see it better that way. We need to get some rollouts. I still think we should do rollouts, because now with the rollouts, he still can excel on the run. Now, again, if it looks as if his play is affected to the point where he's getting more injured and he's taking hits, At that point, you do have to make an executive decision, Bowles. You have to take him out because the Panthers are still a very, very bad team. I Trask can get the job done. I don't think that Trask is that horrible to where you would have to worry about losing this game. Now, if Trask come in, do I expect the Bucs to be beating them by 30? No. I still think even with Trask, the Bucs can win by at least 2 touchdowns. But either way, let's just say if Baker does his job and they get the ball and they, when you score, now we can go on, we can talk on the defensive side. If the Bucs score on offense, the first drive, now on defense, I do think that, in my opinion, this is the game where, Bowles, you go all in and you play aggressive. When I say aggressive, I mean man coverage. And not just a little man bump. I mean jamming the receivers. Because what you want to do is rattle Bryce Young super early. I think we got to him like 4 or 5 times last game. But this time there is no reason that Bryce Young should get in any type of rhythm. Take him out of the game early. This is why I think what can happen. Because the Panthers are literally going to play they're going to play to the same energy the Bucs are going to try to play early. Again, if the Bucs come out swinging and punch them in the mouth early, I do have a feeling the Carolina Panthers will turn into kittens, because now it's all going to be if we score on our first drive, and if the Panthers cannot score and the Bucs stop them on the first 3 and out, I do feel that the Panthers at that point, and if the Bucs get the ball back again and just score 3 points and it's 10-0, I truly believe that the Panthers will just say, let's pack it up. So this is why it's imperative, in my opinion, to play man coverage and be aggressive. No need to get this Panthers offense to get in the rhythm. No need to give Bryce Young hope. We want to put this Panthers team away for good. Hey, and look who it is, guys. It's good morning to Rick Hughes. How you doing, sir?
Good, brother. Look at the weather behind me. Look at this.
Looks good.
Beautiful. Yeah, welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina. The weather is perfect. It's like 53 degrees. There's literally, there's a little tiny cloud. Basically not a cloud in the sky. Yeah. Wow.
Are you going to the game?
No, I'm not, unfortunately. Curveball thrown because of work. I will not be able to go to the game. However, I'll be watching every single moment.
No problem. So yeah, I was just talking about the keys to the game and explaining what you said early. So if the Bucs get the ball on offense, you said it. We need to score, right?
Yeah, we need to score early, score often. I think we need to punch them in the mouth before we get punched in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important. That's got to happen.
I agree with you 100%. I truly think if the Bucs can score early, they score their first drive and then get a 3 and out. And even if they get 3 points on the next drive, I think you're right. It puts the Panthers in a position where they say, all right, guys, we know what type of day this is going to be already.
Yep.
Let's pack it up. Let's pack it up. Guys, you did a good job. Hell of a season. So I agree with what you're saying. Now, in my opinion on defense, the first drive, I do think that, in my opinion, now you know how I am about cushion coverage. I think that the first drive, if Bowles stays aggressive and they play more man, they load the box. You want to overwhelm Bryce Young. Don't even make him feel like he's in the game. What do you?
Well, I don't think he's the key. I think the key is the running game. Carolina's running game. I don't think it's Bryce Young. I think you stop the run, they're screwed. They've got no receivers. They really don't have a passing game. If they're going to beat us, it's going to be running. Yeah, that's the thing, is if they're going to beat us, it's going to be Chuba Hubbard and Bryce Young running, not passing. So, I mean, I think that's the key to the game.
That's a great thank you. That's a great analysis. I forgot that they do rely on their run. You're right.
Yeah.
And we have everyone in. Vita is going to plug the hole. Now, who do you think that is going on the line, the front seven, that you feel that is going to be able to be that's going to stop the run?
Well, I mean, not you. Who do I think is? It better be everybody. I mean, that's dead honest. It better be everybody. The one thing I don't want to see is Devin White standing around watching. That's the one thing I don't want to see. And if he is, get him out. Just get him out. Get him out now. Because I mean, he did it last week. He played like his hair was on fire one game, and then the next game, he was, a spectator. We cannot have that. This is all the marbles. Look, if they win this game, you have, I think, stability for another year. I think Canales sticks around. Who knows what happens in the future? But I think you'll have Canales for another year. And this is I can't overemphasize. Listen, I'm always saying, Todd from Winter Park, one of the people who watches these shows, he usually stays quiet, but he and I will talk back and forth on Messenger and things. He always says, this is a big game every week. I love the passion, but he's always, every week, this is a big game. No, this is a big game. Because this does not just decide the season.
Nope.
This decides the next 3 years.
Yes.
And the course of this franchise. So this is not just a big game for today. It's not a big game for the playoffs. It's a big game for the next 3 years. And we cannot lose today.
I agree. But and I think I was, before you got on, Rick, I had showed the picture again of what the experts expected the Bucs to be at, and we have exceeded that by far. They said
the problem is not performance. The problem was expectations.
Yes, and that's what I explained. But as you said, Buck fans, you always typically want, if your coach can do it and you want to have you want stability, that is a very important thing, because if Bowles can stick around, maybe now with extra money coming up next year, and then you have to give him this. Him and Light drafted 2 solid defenders in the first few rounds. Cansey is going to be a stud. Yaya is going to be a stud. So can you imagine if Bowles and Light have another successful draft next year?
And you got Izzian and
Izzian, yep.
I can't think of the other guy's name, Matt, whatever. On the line.
Cody Mock?
No, on that D line.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
But they had a great they had a great draft. I mean, like, great draft. Like, it's going to impact for a decade, this team.
I agree.
And I mean, I want to see Bowles untie his hands from behind his back and let's see what happens. He may not be the answer. Right. But right now we don't know.
Yes.
It would be a shame. To overperform as much as they have this year and then lose the coach. I think that would just be a shame. So let's see what happens. But the weather will not be an excuse.
Oh, absolutely not. No, the Bucs, but I do think the Bucs will go all out and go in. This is a game where I kind of feel like Bowles might shock us and be aggressive, as you said.
I don't know. They're not going to want Baker getting hit. I don't know.
No. What I mean by
defensively.
That, on offense, they might not run it, because this is why I say this. They're going to want to start out. If they want to start early, they got to pass. But this is what they would do. If he's in shotgun, they're going to have his 2 primary targets. They're going to get the ball out fast. Remember how we were laughing that Brady was getting the ball out fast last season? That's what's going to happen with Baker.
Yeah. Godwin and White. Today is a Godwin and White kind of day.
Yes,
on
sir.
Offense. That's you're going to see. I think a lot.
Yeah.
That's a guess. But I think it's going to be Godwin and White, and I think defensively, everybody's got to show up. The Panthers had 136 yards total last week. The thing is, against us, especially Bryce Young, ran against us in the first game, and that's the reason it was close. But when everybody keeps telling me, well, the Panthers were, it was a close game first time we played. Yeah, without Levante David, without Devin White. Yeah, I mean,
right. I don't think people remember that we weren't at full strength.
Right. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll try to pop on again in a little bit, but I wanted to pop on and you to that weather.
Nice hoodie. That thing is.
Yeah, I love this thing.
That hoodie. Nice. Well, Rick, we'll catch you later on. Enjoy your day, and as always, go Bucs, my brother.
Bucs. Go
Bucs.
Bucs. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs. Take care of yourself. Now, thank you for that, guys. And he is right. I mentioned it earlier on the offensive side. Get the ball out quick. I do think God and Rashad White, I want to see him not running. He does so much better when he has space. When he has space, he can maneuver. He's fast. He's shifty. We don't need to be bludgeoned. This is why I do think that the Bucs will start out in the pass, because that is our strength. Trying to run it, that's not going to help us. And again, if the offense gets their shit together, they can. Here's the thing: if the Bucs offense and defense, hell, just play average, you can. If you're up by 17 or 20 by halftime, I would sit Baker. At that point, you've done your job, Baker. Here's in a perfect world. If I were the Bucs, if you're up, let's say between 20 to 20 by halftime and it's 0, this is what I would do. Baker, we'll put you out of the game. Rest, relax. We want your body to be fresh. We want you to be ready for the playoffs. So you're done for the day. You're still gonna have your job. Trask will come in. I would start Trask off with a couple of short passes, and then run the rock, of course, to bleed the clock. But I wouldn't make Trask just hand the ball off all either. Just dink and dunks in there for him. Maybe take one deep shot if he has it. Evans and God would play until I'd say mid, if there's 5 minutes left in the third quarter, then you sit those guys out. You sit them out because maybe if Trask is in, he can get a touchdown with Evans or Godwin. Godwin should be in the slot today. You get him in there, and Trask maybe gets a touchdown. Now at that point, you can take Godwin and Evans out and let them sit for the entire fourth. Also, I know Rick mentioned Godwin and Rashad. Also, another person today that should be a killer in the middle of the field is Otten. We using Otten that way, especially in the short, quick passing, because he has the size and speed where he's able to get. But he can get behind the linebacker, and also if they put a nickel corner on him, he's too big for that guy, and he can catch over him. So I want to see that today. I want to see quick, short passes up the middle, or Otten runs up the seam. That is what I want to see out of Otten today. When it comes to Trey Palmer, you got to know where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with crossing routes. I want to see Palmer catch and strike. Couple of over them. I don't want Evans and Godwin on the same side because that limits the field and that makes you more vulnerable because now the defense can just step in and make something happen. So now, with that being said, put Godwin in the slot, put Evans on the outside, and put Trey Palmer on the outside. I keep saying this, Canales. This is the game where you get creative. I'm not saying to the point where you're giving early. First half away. If you do that, now you don't have to worry about Baker getting hit. If you put this game away, you can rest Baker. You don't have to worry about Evans tweeting something. You don't have to worry about Godwin getting hit the wrong way. Now you can have all the other guys, Palmer to produce, Moore to produce. You have you have a receiving core, and then you can take Rashad White out and put Edmonds in. You can control this game by halftime. So again, if you get up early offense, let's say the first quarter you're up 10-0, and it's like only like 6 minutes, the Panthers might pack it in my opinion. They're going to say, oh, damn, we can't do anything. Because let's say it like this. Let's say this happens. Again, you score the first drive, then you stop them again, and you get 3 points. Hell, I say this, if you get 14 points in the first quarter, Panthers are going to wrap it up. That's how I feel. The Panthers are going to stop. Guys, we can't. Yeah, this ain't going to look good. This ain't nah. We're going to pack it up today, guys. We ain't doing shit anyway. We can't do anything. We don't have shit. We ain't about shit, guys. It's all good. Let's just pack it in. But if let's say it's only what the Bucs cannot, the Bucs need to be up at least by 3 points before the end of the half. Even if it's 17-0, that's what it needs. Because if it's 10-0, it's still going to be way too close. Like if the Bucs go into the half and it's 10-0 or 10-3, that will be unacceptable because now the Panthers will have the mindset in saying, "Wow, this we're supposed to come up swinging." This guys, we're still in it only by one possession, and we get the ball back. Hey, we ain't nothing to lose. Trick play out there. We can't have that. The Bucs need at least points up in the, and if they don't, at least the Bucs need to put that on offense, and then on defense, keep them scoreless. The most that should come out of the game in the first half is 3 points. That's it. 3 points, nothing more. You don't even want to the game. That's why on defense, Bowles, you have to be aggressive. Let's give shout outs to people. Christopher, bring the pain. It's about time to bring the pain. That's right. Pain. Guys, at the end of the day, we know this. It's not a gimme, especially after how we were last week against Saints. But I want you to put that away. To get that out of your minds. It's done. It's over. This is still the Bucs have all in. This is the time. There's no excuse. As Rick showed you, the weather is nice. It's blistering cold. It's no excuse. The Bucs are the better team by far. Again, Bryce Young, we don't want to see Bryce. We want Bryce to just mentally and emotionally. It's like I want him to be out of it. Stop the run game. That's why I say load the damn box. There is no excuse today, Bowles, for anybody to worry about any of these receivers beating you deep. Load the box. And if they try to, if they do it once, okay, now you can go back and go, okay, let's adjust. But in the beginning, there's no reason to let them march down the field, Bowles. No damn reason. Take them because even if Bryce tries to take a deep shot, for all we know, he'll throw an interception or get back because he can't see over the line. He hasn't had a season. There is no reason to keep this team in the game. Take this team out early. You take the team out early, you don't have to worry about more injuries. Hell, again, on defense, if the Bucs are up 20-0 in the defensive side, Levante and then will come out. And if the offense scores again, then yeah, you take the starters out. The only people that would be in at that point are the backups. Now I would leave Devin White and because more with us, so get his dollar. I especially use Devin White in blitzing today. There's no need to blitz the corners today. Devin says he need to make a good game today. But my whole point is, if the Bucs take care of business and you get up early and you overwhelm this team, you can sit your starters out. You don't have to worry about injuries because at this point right now, we expect Bucs to come out and this team today. You are the better team. Please get out there and perform like we know you can, Buck fan. The Bucs. Canales, you already know the passing game is where it's at. Bowles, you already know Cushion coverage is not where it's at. It's no excuse, guys. You have what it takes to win today, so do so. We believe in you. Get us to the playoffs, because as of right now, it looks like they are us because we're dangerous. And as I said, you win early. Baker can have another full week to get healthy again. Shit, this team can be something serious in the playoffs. And again, all we ever want is to see what would happen if we have a dual threat quarterback in the playoffs with this roster, especially on offense. So Bucs, I believe in you. Go. No bullshitting today. Put these Carolina kittens to fucking sleep early. No bullshitting. I between 2 to 3 sacks. I expect a sack today. Carlton Davis interception. And Winfield interception and sack. I expect this Bucs team to get between 5 to 7 sacks today. Offensively, I think Baker will have a good game. I think Godwin at least even yards today. Rashad White get at least 60 yards receiving, fall just shy of the 1,000-yard mark. Either way, the Bucs will have 2,000 receivers at the end of this game, and it's going to be good. So, as always, Buc fans, thank you for tuning in on the Aftermath at 102.9 Game Broad Street South Radio, and also pregame. At my podcast, it's about Bucking time. Check out my page, AJ Turn Up. Check out the link, and I got good gear that you can wear. And my motto is turn up in style, respect the process, and reality checks don't bounce. And as always, hopefully we can talk to you today, and we can talk about playoffs. As always,